This one's a topic of conversation.
Yes.
We've got Lil Yachty's Let's Start Here. What's up? You're watching HIVEMIND, the most tranquil show on the internet. My name is Raz, and I'm my calm and collected co-host, Graydon.
Hello.
Today we're judging artwork because we're definitely qualified to do so. This is another album art tier list. So we went on Twitter and we asked you guys which album covers you'd like to see ranked tier list style. Today we're gonna rank your responses.
S to F, San Francisco style.
All right, before we do, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more, HIVEMINDTV.com for our merch. We also have a drop over on Cope's website, which is linked in the description, along with our Patreon and our Cameo if you'd like to support us, or click the join button here on YouTube, become a member, get emotes, get a knife next to your name in the chat, and you get extra content.
Thank you, members.
Starting with, overwhelmingly the most requested one, this is Her Loss by Drake and 21 Savage.
I love this cover.
Yeah, it's interesting. This is a picture of Suki Baby, who is a model and I believe a designer of some sort. Somebody who plays with a lot of like teeth art.
Okay, I like teeth art.
Teeth art?
Yeah, my mom used to save my baby teeth.
And make art out of it?
Oh yeah, creepy stuff. She'd do little effigies and then wipe them off and be gone, ghost, and crush them up.
I don't know if that's art. Also, how did she get him from the Tooth Fairy?
She was my tooth fairy.
That doesn't make any sense. There's one Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, it's my mom.
Oh, your mom's a Tooth Fairy?
Yeah.
Nice. Anyway.
Yeah. I like this just because it's like striking. It feels like a little juxtaposed to like the music.
It does feel fitting in a weird way though. Like when I think of this album, the cover comes to my head, which isn't like a given.
Right, that's true.
Apparently Lil Yachty picked this album cover too.
Yeah, he's got his hands all over this thing in weird ways.
Overall, I think this is a unique and iconic choice for an album cover. It just doesn't feel like the most creative.
It is simple and straightforward.
Yeah, it's a good B.
I'm comfortable with that. I can live with that.
Next, we have SOS by SZA.
On a big diving board.
Yes, inspired by a 1997 picture of Princess Diana.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I know SZA said that she liked how isolated and lonely Princess Diana felt in that photo. And so this is a direct recreation, and contrary to popular belief, not inspired by the Melodic Blue by Baby Keem.
Right, yeah.
Which is, it is similar. I mean, it has different angle and stuff, but it is that ocean out on like a man-made peninsula.
Yeah, just like the infinite expanse of water, you know?
Yeah, and I don't want to downplay it because it is modern, but for some reason, like the casual outfit takes away from it a little bit for me.
Yeah, I kind of feel that.
As well as just compositionally, it's just one straight line out, but it's a direct reference, so like you can't do much with that.
Yeah,
you know?
it's an homage.
To me, this is kind of another B.
Yeah, I almost kind of want to go lower.
Really?
When I think of this album, I don't think of the cover.
That's true.
You know?
Okay, let's go C with it.
Yeah, C feels right.
It is a cool homage, though, I will say that.
I hate royalty, though.
That makes sense that you hate royalty, because your music does sound royalty-free.
It is, but it's more of like a protest, and people don't seem to understand that, and they're just sampling it.
That's what royalty-free means. You're kind of... That's
well, yeah, but I'm trying to like protest royalty, and instead people are just stealing.
They're not stealing. You give it to them for free.
Yeah, but like no one's getting it. It's
it
over
fell
their
on
head.
deaf ears.
Yeah, it's over their head.
Next we got, Congratulations by MGMT.
I love this one.
I absolutely love this cover. I know it was designed by a lowbrow artist named Anthony Osgang.
Shout out gang.
Andrew Van Weingarten described this as, he said it's like not really that deep.
Yeah.
He said it's kind of just like the wave of success and feeling like you're gonna get swallowed by the wave of success.
Sure.
And then he said he kept having dreams about surfing.
Okay.
They like sing about surfing on the album a little bit, and there's like some surf rock influence, and so it just felt like the right cover for it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love all their covers, but this one in particular like stands out as just trippy and like fun, and I like that it's not that deep. That's refreshing to hear that it's not like the checkerboards are like time and space. It's just like, it's a funny little thing.
The 6 eyes of the cat represent the 6 houses of the devil. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any of that. Also, this is wide. It's like not a square.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Like, I never noticed that until we had to download images of it, and I was like, whoa, this is not a square, which is
That is weird. Makes it feel extra lowbrow.
This is an S for me. It's one of my favorites.
I think it's a good S.
This is one you get on vinyl specifically to have that.
And the songs are great.
Oh, I love that album. Next we've got Heroes and Villains, Metro Boomin.
The homage to Pink Floyd, right?
Yeah, Wish You Were Here.
Yeah.
Not hating on homages at all.
Okay.
This one is boring to me for that reason, though.
Yeah, it's fair. The original's so cool. It's like practical. They actually lit a guy on fire.
Did they really?
I mean, what was it, like 1974 or something?
I think it was 75.
Yeah, they couldn't like CGI fire.
Maybe not, but I think it's more like when you see the image for the first time.
Yeah.
Like a guy shaking a hand of another guy who's on fire is like a really striking image. But now that we've all lived with it for 50 years almost, it's like we've all seen that.
Yeah.
And so to me, this isn't striking. It's just like, oh, that looks like the Pink Floyd album cover.
Yeah, it looks really good and it is fitting. Like the whole aesthetic rollout of the album is like this city on fire and the hero's got to save it from the villains. And it all works together really well. But at the end of the day, it is just an homage.
The rollout comic book imagery was more enticing to me. I kind of wish they had went with something like that.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's
know?
like a B though for me. A B or a C. I could go either way.
It's a C to me. It doesn't do much for me now that I've just seen the Pink Floyd one,
Yeah.
you know? Next one, this one's a topic of conversation.
Yes.
We've got Lil Yachty's Let's Start Here.
And what's going on here? Break it down for me.
Well, it looks to be a piece of AI-generated art of 7 executives in a boardroom.
Okay.
My understanding of this album cover has always been that these are the executives at the label laughing at Lil Yachty for wanting to make a psych rock album.
Maniacal laughter.
Yes. And of course, AI has not really figured out how to make faces all that well yet, at least at the time of making this. It feels like the last 2 weeks have really sped things up.
Yeah.
The other day I heard Kanye on Jungle.
Yeah, that one was good.
And that one was quite good.
It was very good.
Kendrick Lamar on Flashing Lights as well.
But again, those are voices and not faces.
True.
And maybe the computer has a hard time facing God or something, you know?
Oh, it could be that. But
Yeah.
also impressions, pretty easy to do someone's voice, harder to do someone's face.
That's true.
You know? So Yachty got a lot of heat for using AI generated art. I also heard a rumor that this was not actually AI generated, but rather an artist who like kind of specializes in that style. So I don't know exactly the entire background of it, but sadly, I like it. I think it works for the album.
I like it too, and there's an eerie creepiness in that time that is now time-stamped with the album art of like AI not being able to make the human face or something. There's
Right.
just something like freaky about it, and you can see it, especially in that lady in the center's face. I mean, god dang it, is that
Yeah.
creepy?
Yeah, that one or the one over the shoulder in the back. I mean, that looks like David Bowie and Greta Thunberg had like a baby who got into like some rabies juice or something,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It makes you feel uneasy, and
Yeah.
I think that's on purpose. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's fantastic, but I do think it's fitting. For whatever reason, it works.
Puts it firmly in the B, kind of with her loss. I feel like it kind of does the same thing.
Next we've got I Didn't Mean to Haunt You by Quadeca. Okay. Is this the first time you're seeing this?
Wow. Oh, I love this image.
Wow, yeah, okay.
Maybe it's a conceptual record?
Okay, yeah, well, you're right on the nose there.
Maybe from the perspective of the undead?
Actually, no, it's from the perspective of the dead.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, it's not a zombie record.
No, it's not. No, hey, maybe that's the next one. From the perspective of a zombie. And he's just like, brains.
Why do the zombies always want brains specifically?
I don't know.
They don't get any smarter. They're just dumb eating machines, but they really want the brains.
I feel like everything that is kind of like supernatural or whatever has just been like, it's just a tradition passed down.
Yeah.
It's like, why are ghosts always going, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just what somebody said. Why are aliens like little gray 4-foot
Yeah.
saucer heads, you know?
It is weird.
Witches fly on brooms.
Vampires are sexy and pale.
And they're in high school forever. Weird choice, Robert. I really like this album cover. I really like the world that Quadeca made for the album artwork.
Yes.
All the paintings were done by one person for the single covers and for the album cover itself. They also have a presence in the music videos. And I think they work really well. It's just like, that's what the album feels like.
Yeah, it's like this really dark, watercolory, almost abstract, but you can like, it's like when you see a picture of a ghost.
Yeah.
And they're like, there it is. And you're like, okay, I see something.
Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah, and then the presence of like the big orb,
Yeah.
which is also like a classic symbol of a ghost.
It does a good job of distorting what would otherwise be a woodland landscape painting, you know? I will say I prefer the Born Yesterday cover,
I think I do too.
but I do like this color palette for the entire album. I'd give this like an A.
Yep, we got an empty slot right there. I think it fits perfectly in there. Let's see. Yep,
You were worried about
fits
it?
perfectly in there.
It's not Tetris.
It's a perfect fit though. That was well placed.
Okay.
Good job, man.
Thanks, man. Okay.
Better you than me over there. I can't really. Whew, that's tough. Tough job.
Now we've got Loveless by My Bloody Valentine.
This is my first time seeing this album cover.
Is it actually?
I think so.
You lived with Rosie,
Yeah,
Detroit shoegaze legend,
correct.
and he never showed you the Loveless cover.
What would he do? Hey, Graydon, how was your day at work? Look at this, an album I really like. He sits in his room and he cried cried and screamed for 6 months.
Okay. Either way, yeah, this is the album cover here.
I like it. Is this of an era or is this new?
This is from the 90s.
Yeah, okay. It gives me that vibe.
I feel like this defined the aesthetic of the shoegaze kids in the 90s, you know? And the shoegaze kids now all like worship this record. And it feels like with a standard album cover, such as like Souvlaki by Slowdive, it wouldn't have the same effect.
Shout out to all the gazers.
To me, this is probably an A.
That feels good.
I don't think it's an S, because it's not the most creative thing in the world, but it is genre defining.
Absolutely.
Now we've got Scaring the Hoes Volume 1, JPEGMAFIA and Danny Brown.
I love this cover.
Yeah, this feels like a reference to some, like an era of movies.
Yeah, like the Afrocentric action movies of like the late 70s, early 80s. It makes me think of like Shaft. You have like Danny Brown with his hair out, almost looks like James Brown, and then JPEG with his gun, with the cop cars in the back, and then you have the two girls that are like in the go-go aesthetic. I think this is really sweet, and I love picturing these two guys in those roles of like the 70s action movies.
And I also do like that there's a physical element to it. You get like kind of like the vinyl packaging around the left side. That makes me think of like flipping through a bin. You might just see this one and you not even know what it is and be like, that's a cool cover.
I think this is an S. I really like it. It's hard to do without hearing the record, obviously.
Right.
But based solely on the artwork, I love it.
Yeah, I would go somewhere between A and S. We'll go S with it.
Yeah.
We'll go S with it. Now we've got Lil Pump 2. By Lil Pump.
Yes.
The new critically acclaimed album from Lil Pump.
Album of the summer, a lot of people are saying.
A lot of people are saying it's the early album of the summer.
Yeah, early summer.
An early contender.
Yeah.
Especially the heavy metal song.
I've seen a lot of people listening to it. I hear it in cars. Dance is trending.
Punk rock shit.
Yep.
Slit my wrist. Punk rock. Ooh, God.
All jokes aside about the music, I love this photo.
Sorry, for a second, I'm
trying to decipher whether it's a photo or not.
No, I'm trying to decipher if... Okay, it says LP2 in his hair.
Yep, it does. I just noticed that.
I did not notice that before. I thought it was just kind of like a big jumble of his hair.
Yeah.
And wow, okay, that changes things.
I mean, this is giving Medusa.
Medusa if her head had gummy worms instead of snakes.
Ooh, that'd be less scary.
I don't know, I feel like using the iconic colored dreads from Lil Pump's heyday was a smart aesthetic move. It's kind of like, remember why you love Lil Pump? Like, try to remember nostalgically why you liked Lil Pump and come to that record with this. But, I mean, it's just a picture.
Yeah, but it's a good picture. And I honestly, hating artists, just like historically, I hate artists. I prefer photography.
Oh, you hate like visual art? Like, like painters and stuff?
Especially cartoon stuff.
Okay, well, Jesus, man.
I don't know, it just feels like a rejection of all things classical and tasteful.
Sure.
And so photography to me as a medium has always been a little more appealing because it is real.
Right.
You know, and it is like serves a purpose to the greater society. That kind of
totally,
thing.
Yeah.
So I like this. Honestly, after being pointed out that his hair says LP2, I like it less.
And me too. I was trying to decide if I liked it more or less because of that, and I like it less. I think that if it was just a big like, like he like, oh, shake your head around, Lil Pump, here's a picture, then I like it more.
Yeah, same. So I think this belongs in C or B.
C.
See you later.
You're seeing me right now.
I'm gonna see you later, though, if you guys know what I mean.
What? What do you, come on now.
I'm gonna fight you later.
Fight me?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump you in the graveyard.
Why would I be in the graveyard?
Because I'm gonna tell you to meet me there for something cool, and then I'm gonna beat the piss out of you.
Why would you tell me that?
Here, there's churros at the graveyard later.
Churros, really? Are they good?
Oh, they're the best.
Oh my gosh, which graveyard?
The one by my house.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna go there later. I'm craving a churro right now.
Perfect.
Sweet. What were we talking about?
Churros, man.
Churros. Yeah, I love churros, man.
See you later.
Shit. Oh, see you later, yeah.
At the churro stand.
The graveyard near your house. I'll be there.
Right at sundown, all right?
Sure. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Oh.
You knew it had to be in here.
And now we've got What You Won't Do for Love by Bobby Caldwell. R.I.P. Bobby Caldwell, man.
Absolutely. This memorial is going to go on for the entire year, I think.
Yeah, I think we're going to be talking a lot about Bobby.
And now this album artwork sits heavier with me, you know? It's like ominous and dark. And I saw someone edit it where he wasn't on the bench, and I almost cried.
Zane.
Our friend Zane did that?
Zane did that.
Yeah. Sadness aside, when this record came out, as some of you may know, as some of you may not, Bobby Caldwell was awarded Best New Black Artist.
In the year 1980, I believe.
Partially due to the anonymity that the silhouette plays.
Yeah.
Because people heard What You Won't Do for Love, made their assumptions, saw the album cover, and were like, this new black artist is amazing. And upon meeting him, he told us in the first shows where he was touring with Natalie Cole, he could hear a pin drop in the arena because people would go out already obsessed with this record and then see this little white guy out there.
He said he heard audible gasps at times. And he said people find out every day.
Yeah.
Like it was like an ongoing phenomenon, like on Twitter over the past 5 or 6 years, you'd have like a day where like 20,000 different people found out that Bobby Caldwell was white.
Yeah.
And be like, no way, this guy's white.
Yeah, it ends up like partially coining the phrase blue-eyed soul.
Yes.
And it's just a cool story. It's a beautiful album. I think like his niece or something drew this, and he just kind of like, they were looking for an album cover for a long time and he couldn't land on anything, and just ended up being like almost this like childlike drawing.
It feels like a children's book interpretation of a soul singer.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's really cool about it, especially the color theory here is awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I will say I hate where What You Won't Do for Love sits type. Like if it was just up a little bit so it doesn't run into that sun/moon on the right side, like it would be a perfect cover if that's the case. But
fair. It's an A.
Yeah, between a B and an A for me, because I really do not like the type, but I do love the image.
You're really hung up on that type.
I'm a graphic designer. I don't know. Sometimes it just, that's not.
My guy's a GD graphic designer. GD goddamn graphic designer. Holy smokes, he likes that type.
I mean,
that is hard as fuck, bro.
I actually don't like the type, but that's not the point.
That is hard as fuck. Tell me about this. What type's that?
It says cherish.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, that's not. What's the type?
What's the type?
Yeah, what's the kind of type that is?
Like Old English.
Hell yeah.
Now we got Out on Bond by Babytron.
What was he at a Halloween party and got arrested or something?
Yeah, controlled substance.
Yeah, and he just had the Mario hat on. And I knew he had a mustache, but this looks like he waxed it up or something.
Dude.
You gotta.
Okay. Can we just put this on F and like keep it moving maybe?
You hate it?
It's a mugshot where they threw a Mario hat on him and a mustache. Like, I don't even get it.
I guess it's a Toad hat, technically.
No, they just put T for Tron.
Oh, okay.
Toad doesn't have a hat. Toad has a big mushroom head.
I'm not a nerd. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I just like don't, like, are they trying to say that he looks like Mike? I don't get it. Like, what's the joke?
I guess. He kind of looks like Mario if you Photoshop the hat and gave him a Mario mustache.
He like barely has a mustache. He has long hair. He's not Italian to my knowledge.
Yeah, it's an F.
I usually find Babytron very funny, and this is a moment where I was like, ugh. Come on. All right, now we got Hypochondriac by Breakins.
The palette here is really, really strong.
Breakins has always been very good at that. I know he designed his own first album cover and had a very strong fall color theme. Brown, deep red, a little bit of yellow. This one feels a little bit more like a pond reflection.
Yeah, you can like almost see the algae bloom, you know? It has that deep green in there. Doesn't necessarily fit the album for me, but I think he kind of often does that. Like even though I like the cover of like Punk 2, it had like the retro 70s psychedelic text on it.
Yeah.
That I felt like was a little out of place.
Same, yeah.
I ended up liking the music so much that it kind of won me over, and I like the challenge of that a little bit here and there, but I don't know. I still really like this one, but it's not like perfect.
No, this one's just okay to me. I actually prefer the Punk 2 cover, even though I did not like the type, same thing. The blurry reflection, I feel like is strong imagery for this album because he's like trying to see himself. So I do like that thematically, but overall, it doesn't do as much for me. I feel like it's maybe a B.
Yeah, it's a good B.
Now we've got JID, The Forever Story.
Drone shot, almost.
Yeah, and this I believe is a reference to The Never Story, which was an illustration in this style. It's not a direct reference, like not everybody's in the same position and that whole thing.
Right.
But
I like the photo a little more, but I like that just as a composition. Like the kind of candid aerial group shot of like a gathering of any kind going on, I think is cool.
And I feel like for an album that tells so many stories, there are so many little stories within the cover that you can zoom in on any section of the album cover and see something going on, whether it's like a conversation, a confrontation, having JID kind of in the middle, exasperated like this with all the stuff going around him is really good.
Yeah.
And represents the album so well.
This one's pretty close to perfect for me.
It's an A for me only because as an image, it doesn't draw me in the same way that some of the best album covers of all time do.
That's fair.
I think it's very, very good, successful at what it does, but like instantly when I saw it, I wasn't like, whoa, what an album cover. I was kind of like, oh, okay, like this makes sense.
I agree with you. A is fine with me.
Now we've got Caroline Polachek's Desire, I Want to Turn Into You.
This is perfection.
What an album cover.
It's perfect.
It feels so 70s. Like,
yeah.
I know it was taken by the same photographer who did the Pang album cover as well as Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia.
That makes sense. It has like that soft glow, overblown light in there.
Yeah, so like it's like a plane.
Or a subway?
Oh, subway, you're right. Okay.
It looks more like a tube.
She's crawling, and then there's sand at the end, kind of like, getting to the beach.
Yeah.
Kind of like crawling towards the beach.
It is weird, out of the hustle and bustle. I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from this, but I love it. It's very striking. It is glossy and shimmery like the album, which is great. And I do love photos. I've said I've loved photos. This just feels right on first look as an S. Like I remember when it came out, I was like, oh, that's perfect.
It's just so compelling. Like her expression on her face, the way she's looking up, like you can tell she's crawling towards the thing, like determined to get there.
Yeah.
And I do like that there's like some modern shoe, because it feels like it could be in the 70s, but then it lets you know that it's not. It's giving you like the hint.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's really cool to have something classic mixed with something really modern.
Like sand and subways right there.
Yeah.
That's the clash right there.
It's an S for me.
I agree.
Now we've got King's Disease 3. Nas and Hit Boy. Fantastic album. Boring album cover.
That's not that great of an album cover. I get it. It's gold. You're rich. It's a woohoo.
Especially because like King's Disease 1 is like a maximalist crazy album cover.
Mm-hmm.
The second one I thought was pretty lackluster. It's just Nas's face.
Yeah.
Like same color palette as this one, but like didn't really do much for me. This is even less. It's like there's no character to it.
Yeah, I agree. And I hope there's not someone already writing out the comment of like, well, the gold signifies this and the lighting and the person who took the photo. I can't imagine there's that much of a deeper meaning here that I'm missing out on. And isn't King's Disease gout? Have I brought this up before?
Is it?
I'm almost positive. Like they used to call gout King's disease because you get it. Like if you eat a bunch of crab and lobster and steaks, I think you get gout.
Yeah, it is gout.
Which is like a funny disease. You know what I mean? It's like not that serious. It hurts, I'm sure. But like it's like a silly little disease you get from eating unhealthy food.
The disease is caused by the chronic elevation of serum uric acid levels above the saturation point for monosodium urate crystal formation.
Exactly.
Maybe you should just call it Gout 1, Gout 2, and Gout 3.
I think I agree with an F though on this. Great album though.
Now we've got Preacher's Daughter by Ethel Cain.
Something about the wood vertical paneling that like takes me to a certain smell and a certain like eeriness.
I mean, Ethel Cain has always been a world builder. Since the beginning of her career, she's like recontextualized the aesthetics of Southern Catholicism and religion in general, and turned it very dark and weird and kind of wrote her own story within it.
I love it as a photo. It puts me in a place that is a little uncomfortable in the sense that it like looks old, but you know it's not.
Although Ethel Cain isn't a pure throwback project with no signs of modern production or anything, like it does feel aesthetically like that's where she wants to sit, is like in an old person's attic in a shoebox.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of like where it feels like her aesthetic sits.
The haunted object in like your dead aunt's house.
Yeah.
I love it a lot. This is an S for me.
Yeah, I think it's an S as well.
Now we have a little baby's drawing. This is Bob Dylan's self-portrait.
And did Bob Dylan draw this?
He was in his drawing era here. He was a pretty prolific painter and drawer in general. Not a lot of people know that. Like all the books he's published in the last 20 years are just filled with his old doodles and stuff.
Yeah.
They ran with this one for the cover of his aptly titled self-portrait album. And as an artist, I would like to know your opinion on the brushstrokes, the colors, the expression, those kind of things going on here.
My opinion is that Bob Dylan may have body dysmorphia.
Oh, no.
Because this does not look like Bob Dylan to me.
Oh, see, to me, this looks more handsome than the real life Bob Dylan.
Didn't say whether it was more or less handsome. It just doesn't look like him.
Oh, could you have like reverse body dysmorphia where you're convinced like you look way better than you are?
That's called unwarranted confidence. Many men have it. Like most men have that.
I am fucking hot.
Yeah. Dude, I look fucking good.
I don't know. I think the gut makes me look a little better. I love this cover because it's like the full bloom of Bob Dylan's artistry. This album comes on the heels of Blonde on Blonde, and at this point, he's just so confident in himself that he's doing his art. He doesn't have to listen to anyone. You know, he's past the going electric controversy. He's like painting his face white and going on tour at this time. He's just like total freak mode Bob Dylan. It does feel amateurish, but there's something like it comes from the artist and he is who he is, and I love it.
Yeah, I guess we'll just balance out what score you want to give it with my F for it.
You're giving it an F.
Yeah, I this sucks.
Really?
Yeah. It's not even like I do like amateurish drawings most of the time. It's just I don't like this one. I just hate how it looks. I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I want to give it an A, you want to give it an F, put it at C.
Okay, cool.
The blues, they're so soft.
Yeah, I hate it.
Oh, perfect follow-up.
Ice Spice's like
Holy smokes. I never noticed how thick her thighs are.
in the illustration or in real life?
In the illustration, I haven't seen them in real life.
Right. So this is a very controversial album cover. A lot of people were hating, saying it was like, come on, what if you're listening to this on the subway? Like, what if a kid sees it? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like all this stuff that women get just a disproportionate amount of hate for and flack for.
What is it, the 40s?
Yeah, like who gives a shit?
Showing her ass?
Oh my God.
How dare she?
Ice Spice's dad hates her signature pose. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, duh. Who cares? She's hot. That's what she's doing. She's out here flaunting. It's fine.
I think it's awesome. I love that the website allowed you to put your friend's face on it. It had the interactive element. She does this move all the time. It's not just like a erotic pose for the album cover. It's like she be doing this, kind of wiping back to front.
Right, which, hey, some people say.
Some people do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go both directions to like loosen the grip.
Or side to side. I go east-west with it.
Holy, like a little.
I go. Yeah, sometimes, whatever. Everybody's got their own thing. Sometimes I do a straight X with two hands. I go.
Whoa.
Like that.
And it's clean. It's like when you tie a knot and then it comes untied when
Yeah.
you pull perfectly. I love this. I feel like it is already iconic in so many ways.
It is, but this would be exponentially more iconic without the type.
Yeah.
The like and the Ice Spice. Get rid of both of them and it's perfect because it's like the image speaks for itself.
Yeah.
That's why you pick an image like this is like, it stamps it. It's like you don't need to tell people what it is.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me it's Ice Spice. She has an orange afro and like huge thighs. Like I know it from a mile away.
And you don't need to put the like on her head. It's just so lame.
Yeah, that's a strange little fumble there.
It brings it from an S to a B for me.
I'd agree. Art is smart.
What?
Art is smart. That would be my slogan if I was the vice president. My whole mission would be to like refund art programs in school.
Does the vice president get a slogan?
Yeah, the vice president always has like kind of a fugazi educational mission.
What's Kamala's?
I think it's childhood obesity.
For the people.
Oh, that's original.
Wow, I've never heard that one before. Jesus Christ, no wonder she didn't win.
She kind of did.
No, she didn't. 15 Kamala Harris quotes that'll inspire you to take a change. It says take a change. That doesn't even make sense.
Take the change.
Oh, to take charge. I just read it wrong. It was Oprah.com, by the way. Now we got Lord Willin' by Clips.
Yeah, I had to throw this one in here.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Bratz. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
Bratz dolls?
Yeah, like the cartoonish, the heads are almost a little too big, but this is obviously like a classier version of that. But it's like colorful, it's cartoony, and this era to me is just defined by this. It makes me think even like back a little further to like Doggy Style.
I was gonna say, this reminds me a lot of Doggy Style.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the 90s and early 2000s rap covers, like painted illustration stuff. It was cool. It had like its own vibe to it.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like some of the video games from that time.
Yeah.
Like the early 2000s, like PlayStation 1 video games.
Where it's like, you get it, they're people, but they don't look like people kind of thing. Like some things are off.
Yeah, like that kind of looks like Pusha T.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like Black Jesus in the back, you know?
Kind of.
Yeah. Or just Jesus, sorry.
Yeah, he was.
Real Jesus was black, so.
Thank you.
Hey, least I could do.
And his dad was a woman.
Oh yeah, because the Ariana Grande song, I forgot.
Yeah. To me, this one's classic. It deserves an A.
I'd go B with it.
I'm not going to move. I moved a lot today. And I'm
you're
just
right,
not
you
going to
weren't
move.
gonna-
Yeah. I'm not going to flinch on this one. Boom, 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 boom. Poof. Yeah, see, I'm just blinking. I know you don't have the gusto to actually hit me. I know you did just a little bit there. What if I leaned into one and you had to live with breaking my nose?
We'd both live with it. It'd be like a 50-50. Because I wouldn't take full responsibility for that.
Really?
If you say to me, what if I leaned into it?
Yeah.
And then I go to hit you and you lean into it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to feel as bad as if I just fully punched you. I actually probably won't feel bad at all.
What if I reacted like you meant, like, what the fuck? Why'd you fucking hit me?
I'd be like, because you leaned into it, you fucking bozo.
Oh.
Like, you probably have brain damage if you're thinking that this is fair to act that way.
I definitely don't have brain damage from your punch because it could never be strong
That's
enough.
what it would be from.
No, it wouldn't be.
I punch hard as shit, man.
No.
I punch a lot. I punch a lot. I punch all the time. And that's how I've gotten so good at it. I'm really good at punching. I'm better at punching than my opponent. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
If I was in like a boxing press conference.
The thing about this fight is I'm better at punching.
I punch a lot. Do you know how many things I've punched in the past few months to get ready for this punching contest? I'm gonna punch him more and harder than he punches me. That's my plan. I'm gonna show you guys how good at punching I am. Tune in at 7 p.m. on pay-per-view to watch me punch this guy better than he punches me. One of my punches is gonna hurt him really bad.
It's fine at a B.
Now we've got Breakfast in America by Supertramp.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love Supertramp.
Oh, Supertramp is awesome. Goodbye, stranger. For the fans, you guys may not know Supertramp by name, but you do know. Take a look at my girlfriend. She's the only one I got. La, da, da, da. Gym Class Heroes famously interpolated that song. This I included because Laura Jane Grace, lead singer of the band Against Me, tweeted out, "Show me a better album cover, I dare you."
Oh,
with
that's
this
cool.
one. And I was like, you're right. It is crazy. You've got the airplane window. You've got the classic diner waitress.
Yep.
The city behind it. The type is perfect for the era. It's great composition. Where she's holding that big glass of OJ.
And where is she holding that exactly?
On the Two Towers?
Correct. Supertramp knew.
I don't think Supertramp knew.
They knew there was oil in the Middle East, and they knew we had to get it.
So you're saying that Supertramp is technically drill music?
Yes, exactly.
I love the color palette. There's nothing I can say. I mean, this is just, to me, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's like horrifying, but it's, I don't know, it's just so cool.
Yeah.
And their music was very like forward thinking and strange in a lot of ways.
One of the biggest inspirations for Tame Impala.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is an S for me.
Yeah, I don't see why not. That scary waitress. You want some more meatloaf? That's how I imagine she sounds. Lady, it's 9 a.m. Today's specials, turkey legs.
Our soup of the day, pig roast bisque. Now we got Super Slimy,
Yeah.
Future and Young Thug.
That is a crow, and that is a snake.
This was like, for some reason, from 2015 to 2020, we got about like 40 to 50 different albums with this style of like CGI statuesque shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Reminds me of like when Young Thug did the play on the one artist's sculpture where his eyes are like blindfolded out, but they're bloody, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Slime Season 3.
Slime Season 3, exactly, yeah. And then after that, I feel like you had these skulls and things going in and out of their eyes. And
You
it's
had
like,
the Drip Harder one.
Yeah.
You had the DS Forever one. Yeah, I mean, it just for some reason that became the style of everything. Maybe it started with Magna Carta Holy Grail being the statue.
it's like a CGI tattoo.
3D tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, that's a great idea, honestly.
What do you mean?
Like a 3D tattoo.
Like raised and bumped out?
Or like a real snake and a crow on you. You get them like surgically implanted and it's like a 3D tattoo.
I'm sure that'll happen someday, sadly.
Or like a half-smoked cigarette that's stitched onto your pec.
I was thinking more of like a globe style, like where you have like the raised mountain ranges and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I get a tattoo of Colorado, but it has like the ridges and, you know what I mean? It's basically a square, but then it has like little raised bumps.
Topography.
I hate this.
Yeah, I don't
To
like
be
it
honest,
either.
it's just like, I get it kind of works for the aesthetic of the album, but like so bored with this style, it did not do much for me. It feels like just a cop-out.
Yeah, it feels like the furthest thing from timeless.
No, it's so corny too. Like, oh, snakes. Like the snake imagery I'm so done with. Yeah, to me, this is a D.
Yeah, that feels right. And we have an open slot there if it fits.
It's gonna fit, man.
With your trusty hands on it, boom, perfect fit.
Yeah.
God,
Okay.
that is awesome.
Now we've got Yeat, Afterlife.
Yeat Season 2.
It's like Yeat Season 4 by now.
That's true. Despite how I feel about this artist and this album, I love this.
Oh, it is fantastic.
It's so, the idea to like take an X-ray image while you got chains on.
And I don't think that's how it was actually made. I feel like they weren't able to actually do that, so it is a recreation.
Right, I don't think you can take X-ray images with metal on.
No.
That seems like it could be bad, but who knows?
I'm pretty sure if you take an X-ray with chains on, you grow 5 inches.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
I don't know, being hard in a doctor's office is kind of weird. Just feels like the wrong time, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I really love this, and I feel like it fits sonically for whatever reason. I feel like his voice almost sounds like disembodied at certain points or something. It just works.
Yeah, this definitely works. It reminds me of the Flatbush Zombies music video that they did all in X-ray.
Yeah.
When I saw that music video, that changed my shit up. I was like, what? How did they do this? To me, this is best case scenario, perfect Yeat album cover.
Yeah, I think so. The only thing that would make it better for me is if you could see his...
What?
If you could see his...
His what?
Through the trousers, front door.
It's not a bone. Like, there's no way to...
Some X-rays, you can see the outline.
Like a print?
Yeah. Like in Jackass, when he put the car in his ass and they go to get it X-rayed, and they show the X-ray and you can see his little cock.
Okay.
I'm saying if that was in there, it would both be cool and erotic.
How many videos in a row are we going to do where you talk about seeing rappers' penises?
Probably the rest.
The rest, okay.
Probably the rest.
This is like, it's just concerning.
You need to like free yourself from these shackles of like, oh, we shouldn't talk about rappers' penises. Like that's society, and I get it. They're brainwashed, but here in our safe little yellow box, we should be able to pontificate about what the X-rayed penis of Yeat would look like. And I should be able to do that free of your criticism. I hear it all out there when I'm out there in the world and I'm talking about Lil Wayne's nudes. Yeah. People yell at me, don't say that, not here, not in our society. But in this safe little home where you've nurtured an environment where I can be both funny and genius, you should allow me to talk about Yeat's penis.
All right, fine.
Thank you.
You're allowed. You're allowed to talk about Yeat's penis.
And without the penis, sans penis, it's just an A.
It's an S for me, and I'm gonna put it on the S no matter what, because that's like a fair trade-off for me letting you continue to talk about the cocks of rappers.
Penises.
S. Funkadelic, maggot brain.
Yes. Barbara Cheeseborough is the model here.
Oh, love that.
Which is just...
I'm a big Cheeseborough head.
Of course, yeah. I mean, they call my neighborhood the Cheeseborough because of how much cheese I have.
It's like if the Bengals trade Joe to the Packers, you know? Cheeseborough. Barbara Cheeseborough, funny name. We can all admit that.
We can all admit that. Not really a funny album. The liner notes of this album are a polemic from the Process Church of Final Judgment, which is like an obscure Satanist group.
Whoa!
And so, as you can imagine, in the time this record came out, people were like, that's the devil's music.
Right.
And they're really playing with that imagery. A lot of people say like the Maggot Brain title and the cover itself are inspired by George Clinton finding like a dead relative who was like partially decomposed with a cracked skull in his apartment in Newark, New Jersey. So that has like another spooky element to it. And for like a funk group, I feel like there's this misconception all the time that funk music is like glitzy and like everybody's like, like wearing crazy glasses, having fun. And there's like really this like dark kind of scary underbelly of funk music because of the way the artists themselves were perceived, their own like substance abuse, and just like the time in general.
Yeah, this like feels like the lore you'd find about a black metal album.
Exactly, yeah.
Is like, yeah, he discovered his dead relative, and that's why it's called Maggot Brain, and there's a Satanist liner notes. Like, that does not sound like a funk album to me.
No, I love that juxtaposition. It looks like those old horror movies, you know, where people are just getting their heads cut off.
Like it's like a 70s slasher sort of vibe to it. A little bit reminds me, for some reason, of like the Thriller music video.
Yeah.
I'd probably go B with it. I feel like it's a very evocative image, but I just like centering and stuff feels a little off. But I love the type. I think the type like that, it's really cool.
A little Halloween-y. I've given you the last couple, so you go ahead and put that in the A for me.
Now we got 10,000 gecs by 100 gecs.
I love this for a lot of reasons.
Give me some of them.
The shirts over their faces, it's spooky. It gives me like hostage vibes.
Really?
Yeah.
I do not get like a spooky vibe from this cover at all.
Yeah, it scares me.
Really?
The big music note, music theory, always very scary to me. As just kind of like more of a free-form artist who doesn't abide by the rules. I don't know, I like it. Just, it fits their aesthetic. It's cool.
Yeah, I think their last album cover was cool because it was them facing the tree. This is them facing outwards. They've got their shirts over their heads. They've got tattoos or drawings on their stomachs. Dylan Brady seems to be wearing this exact pair of shorts for the entire album rollout. It's cool. I don't think it's like the most stunning thing I've ever seen, but you're not going to forget it once you see it.
It feels like them almost embracing themselves a little more. Like it feels sillier.
And I think there probably is some symbolic imagery here of like they're covering their faces and making it about the music now.
Yeah.
They kind of hid from the scene that they created. You know, the first Gex album definitely spearheaded the next 2 years of hyperpop music.
Yeah.
Especially the underground hyperpop music, trying to recreate the magic from the first album. And then they kind of like sidestepped all of that and did something completely different with it. And I do feel like there's something about that here, but like not reading into it too much, it is a nice kind of silly image that people can recreate and you just remember it the moment you see it.
Feels like a B to me.
Yeah, I'd probably go like between a B and an A. I'll go B with it. Ugly by Slow Tie.
Ooh, this one's really good. And it's a real tattoo, right?
I believe it is a real tattoo. I love the lighting and the expression here. I mean, you can only get so much from a picture this zoomed in of a face, but I feel like what it does does is make you focus on that mood and expression.
Yeah, it leaves a lot to the imagination. Makes me feel like an old boxing poster or something. Like, I don't know, it has like that glistening of like maybe a little sweat or something, but it has an expression of like maybe ready to fight. I don't know. It just leaves a lot to the viewer to imagine like what is going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's a great album cover. I still have not gotten around to listening to this album, which I feel bad about, but I hear it's great, and I do like this album cover quite a bit. I would give it an A.
Yeah, I'd give it an A. And it makes me think how silly eyebrows are.
Yeah, those are weird. Eyelashes I get. Those keep sand out of your eyes.
Yeah, I think the brow does a similar thing. That's why you have like a protruding bone here and then the brow's there so it catches anything.
So people who shave their eyebrows, are they just getting shit in their eyes all the time?
Probably more than the average, but I don't think it's like a nuisance, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't think it's like, all day long. Like I should have never shaved them.
People don't be shaving their eyelashes, though.
No.
There's any still aspiring SoundCloud rappers out there? Nobody's done that one yet.
Yeah, I just don't know if they
Do
grow.
that one.
I don't know if they grow back very well.
That's all right. Who cares? Who cares if they grow back? It would look crazy, okay?
Yeah.
People would be like, what the hell's going on with this guy's eyes?
Yeah.
That'll get you signed to a major.
Just weird we have so much hair around our eyes.
This is Rated X, Big C, Dinky D, Bald Head, Stayin' True, presented by DJ Rated X of the Sex Fiends.
Have you heard this record?
No.
Okay. How did you come across it?
I looked up worst album covers of all time on Twitter.
Wow. I'm confused though. How this one could be considered for the worst.
Well, he is a genie coming out of a little genie bottle. And what you might not realize, though, is that his arms contain the faces of the people that are listed next to them.
Oh, I am just now seeing that.
His shoulder is Rated X, his other shoulder is a Big C.
Yep.
He's got Dinky D on one elbow and Bald Head on the other elbow.
That's amazing.
Presented by DJ Rated X of the Sex Fiends is a crazy, thing to say.
I'm really excited to listen to this.
True to life players. I didn't even see that the gold part said anything.
Wow.
I mean, an endless sky, definitely inspired by Aladdin.
This is just scary. I don't know why he's a genie. I don't know why the faces of the featured artists would be a part of the genie body.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just concerning things going on.
The Photoshop work is not as bad as it should be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some of it kind of works. They kind of went off a little bit. But obviously there are lighting and composition issues all throughout. Typography is rough too.
Yeah.
This is either an F or an S.
It's an S.
That makes sense, actually. Sometimes if everything is bad and there's so much of the bad, it just becomes quintessential and genius.
It's like a shit sandwich.
Tastes good.
You
So
don't
much
like
bad.
it.
If you don't like the shit sandwich, just put more shit on it.
Exactly.
Then it'll be good.
Yeah.
Now we got This Is Why by Paramore.
Oh, a little glass, almost they're in the shower together, maybe?
I doubt they're in the shower together.
Okay.
They seem to be fully clothed.
Yeah.
It is up against a moist window.
I love the smushed face look.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why I hate the separation of text and just where it's at.
I can't tell you why you hate it because I love it.
Really?
I think this, it's kind of like a little bit Swiss or something.
Tell me why I should like it.
I feel like because the composition is three faces, it centers Haley's face as the focal point.
Yeah.
And she's the lead singer and protagonist on this album. A lot of the writing comes from her perspective. There's something really nice and crisp about it.
Yeah, it's memorable, and I like any image that has a morphing of the body in a practical way.
Yeah, they all had to press their faces up on glass for a few hours probably to get the right shot. I'd love to see the outtakes. Ones where they look goofy, ones where oh, I look stupid, you know. One where somebody breathes on the glass and writes
fuck the police.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, that's rock and roll.
Or draws a picture of Bart Simpson with an AR-15, you know.
Oh.
This is a B or an A for me. I think it's good.
I feel like an A.
Okay, let's go A with it.
Here's Alice Coltrane's Pata the El Daoud. Pardon my mispronunciation of an ancient Egyptian phrase.
Right, okay.
This is her debut album. If you've never heard Alice Coltrane, it is very spiritualistic, almost psychedelic jazz. I think this entire album's 4 songs.
Oh, really?
And 3 of them are over 15 minutes.
Oh, God.
They're journeys.
Right, yeah.
It has this imagery that almost looks scarab-like, but has images inside of it.
Yeah, it looks like a weird bug beetle thing.
Yeah.
You know?
The scarab.
Oh, that's what a scarab is?
Yeah, the scarab, the ancient Egyptian bug that they use symbolically for a bunch of stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
And in The Mummy, the scarab scarabs come alive and eat the rock or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Dwayne
the Rock, when he's a big scorpion guy.
Gotcha.
And I think it's a really beautiful image. It was done by Jim Evans, who's famous for all sorts of like show and movie posters in more of like a comic book style. And this is more of like a ancient spiritualistic style, which I like. And I love this album.
Sure. Yeah. Doesn't do much for me personally.
You don't feel the God like reaching out to you. You don't feel the spirit.
No, not at all.
Really?
I just feel like I see a lot of stuff like this at record stores and stuff. And
That's true.
Just not being into the genre, I'm just like, whatever.
I could just look at it all day. To me, it's breathing.
It's breathing?
Yeah, it's moving a lot, actually. Oh, just winked at me.
Well.
Oh, what did he say? Oh, never mind. You don't want to know.
Well, it's an old record, you know, so I'm sure there's some stuff that hasn't aged well.
Jeez, man, I don't even think there's vocals on it.
Well, you just said that it winked and told you something.
Oh, yeah, I guess I did say that.
What do you want to give it?
I like it as a B or an A.
We can put it at like a B or a C.
I'm fine with C.
Now we got Boy Genius, the record.
That little light glare in the bottom right, you can hear that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
totally.
You can hear like the rising synths or guitars or something, like a bright sound almost coming up.
I feel like this is a cool representation of the three artists.
Yeah.
So it's Lucy Dacus, Phoebe Bridgers, and Julian Baker, showing a part of them, but not their faces.
Yeah.
However, I could easily imagine this image as like a screenshot from a Taco Bell ad. It just, you know, it reads like it could be very like Tumblr aesthetic or commercial, like 8 p.m. on a road trip across the country with your best friends.
Yeah.
You know, the time you'll never forget.
Almost American Eagle ad vibes too.
Yeah.
It has like a retail thing to it, but that's the beauty of like an album cover is that it has like a sonic setting or background for it that can allow you to kind of see it in a different light.
I could definitely see this on the walls of Abercrombie in like 2009.
Exactly.
You know, at the same time, I don't think it's a bad album cover. I think it's a good album cover. I just think there's multiple ways to look at it. I think the music will really contextualize how this album cover feels.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a B for me.
That feels right.
But I feel like this one could move up and down as the record comes out. I feel like it could become so iconic. Like Urban Outfitters is gonna sell 50,000 copies of this.
Absolutely. You know, I'm entering a DJ competition.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, it's a scratching competition, and my trick is I just have two Crosleys and I stand there with my arms crossed. It just does it for you. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's playing Born to Die on one and Blonde on the other. Mm-hmm. Now we've got Spiderr by Bladee.
Blade's not that strong.
People could not believe that this was actually the album cover. Like, people thought it was a joke.
I mean, it's fire.
It's fire, but it is very like, it doesn't look like Bladee, which begs the question, who is it supposed to be? Like, why does Bladee want this muscle monster holding this metallic spider on his album cover?
Blade's Nordic.
Sure.
This seems to be the evil god of thunder, kind of the inverse of Thor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so brunette Thor.
Yeah, exactly.
With a BB belt.
And so why wouldn't Bladee want to honor the Swedish heritage that he embodies so boldly on every record?
Okay, yeah, I guess. It's not like he comes onto every record and he's like, I am Swedish.
To me, it looks like an old like Judas Priest, almost like early metal.
Yeah.
That era where like everyone in the band's fucking jacked and they have like flamethrowers and it's just like over the top and they're like fucking the devil or something on it.
They're all on castles and shit. Yeah, it's like early hair metal shit.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily feel like it fits the record all that well, but it is a stunning image. Like, the moment you see it, you're like, what the fuck?
I want it.
Which?
Whatever he's having.
The spider?
The guy.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
I want what he's having. Bloodlust, metallic spider, kind of existing in the clouds. I want that for my life. It's so awesome. I want to rate it high, but I haven't spent a lot of time with the music.
I think it's a B or an A. It's a B.
Okay.
You get lucky last night? You smell like a Lowe's, man.
A what?
A Lowe's, the hardware store.
Why would that mean I got lucky?
You smell like lumber, man, you know?
So I laid the wood?
You know how it smells after the deed.
You think it smells like sawdust? Like freshly sawed through pine?
Love that smell, yes.
That's what it smells like after you have sex?
Is it not supposed to smell like that?
Listen, I don't know what it's supposed to smell like, but it doesn't smell like that for me.
It's like one of my favorite smells.
Mine smells like a fresh bag of popcorn.
A fresh bag of popcorn?
Movie theater butter.
Dude, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think you're about to have an aneurysm.
Whatever.
Now we got Renaissance by Beyoncé.
I'm in awe. What was that, a crystal horse?
It's a lightning horse,
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah, it looks like it's from the third Harry Potter.
That's Queen Bee on a lightning horse. To me, I love the stillness of this image. Like, it's very, like, rigid, kind of locked in.
Totally. She's in a black void. It's very picturesque. It doesn't have movement to it.
Yeah.
She looks very royal, but in a modern way. I think there are things that I like about it, but overall, it feels too stiff and too crisp and modern that I feel like this could have been livened up by some artistic edge.
I love it. It's a lightning horse. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it is a lightning horse, but it doesn't feel alive.
For me, it's like a B.
I'd give this a D.
Meet you in the middle.
Yeah, let's go with a C on it. All right, last one for this video. We've got Me Versus Myself by A Boogie with the Hoodie.
Is this Fortnite?
It does look like Fortnite.
It looks like the new season of Fortnite trailer, and it's like, this season's got butterflies and A Boogie's new skin.
It literally looks like you couldn't buy this album if you didn't have Ethereum.
Yeah, exactly.
Very modern crypto art vibe to it in a way that is maximalist, and I'm sure the designer of this album cover would love to work at Pixar someday. Probably would settle for DreamWorks though.
As most people would.
It's another one that raises questions for me.
Okay.
Now the reflection, I can tell, is an animated version of A Boogie himself.
Yes.
But the foreground person looking into the reflection, like, what is that?
Seems to be kind of like a tomato-headed, broad-shoulder, like gloopy, nasty bean.
Sort of looks like a Cause doll who got lava spilled on his jacket. And then putting the Me Versus Myself in the rocks, in the water, it's just too corny. Like,
yeah, it just reminds me of like a video game trailer I'm never gonna play.
Reminds me of John Bellion's music.
Why do you hate him so much?
Because he's bad?
He's like a bad guy? Or
No,
the music's bad?
the music is bad. To me.
Yeah, you just have a lot of unwarranted hate for John.
The music is just like overproduced movie music. It's just like melodramatic shit I can't really do. That's just me.
Says the guy who loves the OC.
That's not melodrama. That's just drama. That's just drama, baby.
That's just drama, baby.
That's just drama, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's so fitting though.
Ryan and Marissa should have been together forever.
Jesus
Personally,
fucking
I feel like
Christ,
it just
man.
makes
No
sense.
one else cares.
They were meant for each other.
I'm surprised you don't like Outer Banks.
That you only meant well. Well, of course you did. What you say?
Singing like John Bellion over here.
That it's all for the best because it is.
Like if A Boogie told me to buy,
Is Outer Banks good? Should I check it out?
I'm telling you, I think it's right up your alley.
Oh, really?
John B. Just that's all you really need to know.
I think the butterfly should kiss on this cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't have lips, so.
Yeah, you're telling me. My uncle used to say it all the time.
Butterflies don't have lips.
Let me tell you something, son. Butterflies don't have lips.
That's actually kind of profound.
It's like life may be beautiful, but
You can't
kiss it.
Yeah.
Can't kiss it.
The things you can actually kiss are more hog-like.
You can look, but you cannot touch.
You could touch them,
For most of nature does not have lips.
but that doesn't mean you can't touch it. I go D, big D on this one, because it is pretty. I'm not going to sit here and lie.
It's an F for me.
That's what.
Let's toss it to Grant.
Grant F.
Okay, thank you, Grant. Thank you.
Loves Fortnite.
He loves Fortnite, but he hates A Boogie with the Hoodie.
That's true. Yeah,
Hates him.
That outweighs it.
Oh, he hates him. All right, well, that was another album art tier list. Let us know if you want us to do this again. Let us know some albums we should include in the next one. Other than that, make sure you like the video, subscribe, also as a video. Graydon, would you like to leave these wonderful people some advice to leave their lives by?
How soon will time cover all things? And how many has it already covered?
All right, this has been HIVEMIND TV. We love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one.
We didn't mean it, A Boogie. We love you.
That's Grant's opinion. That ain't mine.
Can we pretend no one's watching today?
Pretend?
Can we just pretend no one's watching the video?
No one's watching, I promise. We fell off. It's been a long December, and there's reason to believe maybe this beer will be better than the last. It always is.
Coors Banquet beer.
Counting Crows announces their new Pabst Blue Ribbon flavor.
Ew.
Crow flavor.
Oh, God. Crow beer.
It's Crow beer.
Pull out the Crow beer.
Oh, Crow Bar. They have their
Pull up.
Pabst Blue Ribbon bar. Counting Crows plays every night.
Yeah, it's called the Crow Bar.
It's called the Crow Bar.
Pry open that manhole and pour beer down it.
A manhole like be in your mouth?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because it's got a
Crowbar,
Oh,
use a manhole.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Pry open your manhole and pour beer down it.
Manhole usually means asshole. though.
I hope Puss in Boots is on here.
I tried to watch that the other night, and then I realized that it was animated.
And you're an adult.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I remembered I'm an adult man.